evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Richmond. We are in Virginia tonight for the BRR Series race number 10 of the season at Richmond. Some short track racing out here tonight. Unfortunately, we're going to be missing one driver. Topher Baltimore's wheel died on him, so he won't be with us tonight. And looking to see, it seems like we were going to be missing one other tonight, but most of the field is here. And we are 10 races into the season. We've got a heck of a points battle going on in the front of the pack. We'll take a quick look at the points. We'll look at them again later as well, but here are your points coming into it. You've got Kyle and AJ and JJ Parr after last week. All three of the top three have a win. They are locked into the playoffs. Kellen Mitchner, Harley Barletta, Zach Henson, and Jared Heasley all also locked into the playoffs for this season. Now, as we get back on track, there is AJ Godsey. He is 17 points out of the lead now, but obviously locked into the playoffs, not a huge deal. One of the cars we will be watching for tonight, let's see if he is on track. We will be watching for Aiden the Kid Trevette, and to see if he can get that first win here tonight and get himself locked in. He has been a second place finisher, or top three in most races, finished second more than once. We've had some really tight battles with him trying to get that first win. He's just missed out barely. And of course, you don't want to count out Jeff Hinkle, definitely always a strong competitor, and Steven Gibson, still right there. He's been in the top contenders, and he was fast in the trucks last night. Of course, Rick Sargent and Matt Johnston, both still in this points battle.
No, that was just my bad, man. I thought you were gonna go faster a little bit there. I didn't mean to bump into you.
And we had a technical glitch. Give us just a moment. Technical glitches have been the story of iRacing over the last week or so. There we go. As I said, technical glitches have been a very common theme over the last week or so in iRacing, and definitely hope we make it through here tonight. We made it through last night okay, so we'll see how tonight goes. As you see, there's the 15 of JJ Parr and AJ Godsey, nose to tail, and I can tell you that there are quite a few of these guys out here tonight that have put in excess of 300 laps practice. So with all of that practice some of these guys have put in, it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top. Last night we had a bounty in the bounties in the truck race, and some of these cup guys came down to show the trucks how it's done. We'll see if some of those guys are up top, one of them being Jared Heasley. And we'll be talking to Jared here in just a few minutes, as well as Mike Smith, both of them involved in the sponsorship for this week. Jared Heasley is the race sponsor, but was nice enough to bring on the Boogity Motorsports. And if you remember a few weeks ago when we had the what shall we call it, the Jar Jar catastrophe, when we had all the Jar Jar cars, Mike Smith painted a good bit of those, and several of these cars out here tonight have also been painted, I am quite sure, by him as well. Looking to see, there is Jeff Hinkle. He is in the 23 car. We'll be keeping an eye on him as the races wind down this season. We'll have to keep a close eye and see if he can get himself locked in. He is currently sitting 6th in points, so as of right now he is locked in, but as more race winners, especially if there's more variety of race winners, anything could happen. Obviously the top three fastest right now, AJ Godsey, David Garman, Jeff Hinkle, and Harley Barletta. Of those four, Jeff Hinkle is the only one without a win. Jason Rome, extremely fast on these short tracks. We'll be watching him as well. Steven Gibson is one who's trying to get locked in here tonight. as is Matt Johnston in the 93 car. And trust me, knowing that he's a drummer, I've got some great drum jokes for post-race interviews, so I am definitely hoping for his win. And there is Rick Sargent, also in the top 12 in points right now, trying to get that win to lock himself in as well. Looks like Mike Smith is now on track, so we can talk to Mike and Jared here in a few moments. And if the opportunity presents itself, we might talk to Aiden the Kid Trevette. As we see Mike Smith going around, he's another one just outside of the playoff cutoff line right now, but hopefully he can get himself back up there in that Boogity Motorsports car. And as I mentioned, a lot of these cars out here and a lot of the special occasion cars painted by Mike Smith, some also painted by Scotty Too Hotty Designs. Doesn't look like Scotty is with us tonight, though. Kind of miss him when he's not here. And we will wait for Heasley and Smith to get off the track. Don't want to interrupt them mid lap here, but while we're waiting on that, a couple of notes. This will be a 170 lap race. They only have 4 tire sets, so the set of tires they start on plus 3 additional. That means they've got to run at least 40 laps per set of tires. They have an 80% fuel load, but trust me, they will not need that full fuel load because they are going to want tires long before they run out of gas. And 1 fast repair each. It is a 0.75 mile track, 3/4 of a mile, 14-degree turns, 8-degree banked front straightaway, 2-degree banked back straightaway. But here's the real kicker of it. You can barely tell from in the car. We'll see if we can ride along with Heasley here. You can just barely tell from the car, but the front straightaway there at the start-finish line is at a higher elevation than the back straightaway. You're actually going downhill from 1 and 2 into the back straightaway, and then you'll be going back uphill slightly as we go off into 3 and 4. As we see Heasley managing to get into the 1 car. Couldn't quite avoid it. And huge shout out to the 1 car. That is Richie West. That he is running another special scheme here tonight. We'll see if we can get him pulled up here in a minute. He is running a Munsters paint scheme. He actually put a challenge on the BRR page the other day, trying to get some of us older guys to guess what his paint scheme was this week. The first Family of Horror. So awesome, and loving the paint scheme as well. Take a little bit closer to that. Richie is one, as we've talked about, he changes paint schemes every week, and it's awesome to see some of the stuff he comes up with. One that doesn't change is the Finelli Ironworks car of Kevin Reed. Always in that 64 Finelli Ironworks car. And Scotty Too Hotty Snodgrass does make it in time, so we'll get to see a little bit of him tonight as well. But while we have a minute here, we're going to try and talk to 2 of the people involved in the race tonight as soon as I find them. There's Mike. All right, now we've got Jared Heasley and Mike Smith in the booth with us. Evening, guys.
Hey, what's going on, Doug?
All right, so Jared is the race sponsor for tonight, but I think I know why, Jared. Does it have some?
Why would that be?
Well, I would think it has something to do with Jar Jar. Am I correct?
Honestly, if there's something going on, even I don't know.
I just meant you had Boogity Motorsports as the race sponsor tonight, and I know Mike's been doing a lot of our paint jobs recently.
No, that was just as a more of a thank you to Mike for helping me out yesterday and some of the different things he had done. I don't really have anything to get sponsored, so, you know, put something out there, you know. There really was no actually evil doing by me this week. It was just
this week.
This week. I mean, check back next week. I might have something up my sleeve.
And Mike, I know you've painted quite a few. I know you painted quite a few of the Jar Jar cars. And,
one or two, yeah.
Yeah, one or two. Dozen, right. And then it seems like I've heard a couple of guys, some of the newer paint schemes out there are your creations as well.
Yeah, I've done a few for a few of the guys in the truck races last night. I did the 2 bounty cars, and then I did 2 bounty hunter trucks for some guys. So yeah, it's I'm working on my skills, getting a little bit better here and there. Trying to help some guys out that want to have a little bit of a custom look to their cars, their trucks, in the race.
Awesome. So at some point down the line, will you be doing some paint jobs as kind of like a paint company, or are you just sticking to friends and family?
I mean, as far as my skill level goes, honestly, friends and family. I mean, there's been a couple guys outside of our league that have actually I've done paints for. That's, I don't know if it'll turn into an actual business or not. If it does, it does. I'm not, actively pursuing creating a paint company. It's just, like I said, helping people out that need them. So, yeah, it's fun. It gives me a little something to do in the middle of the night or when in between races. So
awesome. Okay, quick question to both of you. First, Mike, who's your prediction for the win tonight?
Oh boy, I'm going with probably AJ.
Just say it. I don't know.
AJ, yeah, I'm going to go with AJ. He's a monster at these short tracks. I'm going to be at the back of the bus, keeping the track hopefully clean from everybody and keeping everybody in line. So when the leaders come by to pass us all, everybody in line.
Okay, Jared, who's your prediction?
I'm gonna just to go different. I'm gonna say Hinkle. I think Hinkle gets his first, saves the tires, does something right.
I was gonna say if Hinkle saves his tires like he did last night in the truck race, then he is gonna be tough to beat on a long run. That guy is amazing at saving. We were giving him a heck of a time last night. He was literally 10% better on tire wear than everybody else that we were in the same channel with on every run, and we were just like, how in the world are you doing that? But man, and he's fast, you know, so consistency, if he can stay out of trouble, he is going to be right up there battling with the top guys. All
right, best of luck to you guys. Hopefully we'll be talking to you after the race.
Thanks, sir.
All right, that was Jared Heasley, who's sponsoring tonight's race, and he brought on Boogity Motorsports as part of that. Larry Barletta in the chat saying, go Harley. Yep. And we've got just a couple minutes left of practice. As we watch Jeff Hinkle go around, and you heard it said by both Mike and Jared, that 23 car was, or the truck last night was extremely fast, but more importantly, he could save those tires. With 4 sets of tires and 170 laps, we're going to see a lot of back and forth. Some guys will be extremely fast early in the run, and some will be struggling later in the run who've burned up their stuff. That was a big the big story last night in the trucks was, hey, these guys are fast early on and they started going back midway. Guys like Jeff Hinkle, who can be fast and conserve some tires, they're definitely going to be the ones to beat. Jeff currently, as we mentioned earlier, sitting 6th in points, looking for that first win of the season, hopefully locking himself into the playoffs. And this is short track racing under the lights at night. It is going to get dicey. Tempers will flare. This is going to be an exciting battle here tonight. Jeff Hinkle is currently 3rd fastest on the track, and there is the 4th fastest car right now. Another guy that definitely knows how to save tires. That is Harley Barletta. He is one that especially on those 1.5 miles. He's really, really good at saving tires. He's even taught me a thing or two. It's not helped me, but he's taught me a thing or two. He is always one to watch on the bigger tracks, but on the shorter tracks, he's not always the fastest on the short run, but he is always at the front on the long run. So he's going to be one we'll keep an eye closely on tonight. Looking through the field, Scott Snodgrass there in the 22 car. He got a late jump into the practice, so we'll see if he has enough time to get a handle on this car. Scott is definitely one that is a great short track racer. He's one of the best on these short tracks. Short tracks and drafting seem to be his two specialties. And just looking, we do not have any bounties tonight, but definitely some guys that are going to be going for it, trying to unseat those top guys. And we are still waiting to see Nicole. That's what she said. Crease will get that first win as well. She is definitely one that hangs out mid to back pack a lot of the race, and then she can come on very strong in the end if she's still on the lead lap. So we'll see if she can hold on to it. Her lap times really aren't that far off right now. And the other lady of the league, there she is. That is Cheryl Newman. We missed her, I think, last week. She wasn't here, but she is back with us. So hopefully the ladies can get up there and put on a show tonight. We'll watch Garmin for the last minute or so here, and we'll be right back with you. All right, just going over some race notes here as they get ready to go into the qualifying session. I have not seen Aiden the Kid Trevette out there. That is going to hurt his point standings. He might be in the real race car this week, though. We'll see if he gets in here maybe at the last minute. Hopefully the kid will be here and show some of the older guard the way around the track. And while we've got a minute getting ready to go qualifying, definitely go like and share and subscribe. We're live on Twitch and on Facebook. And of course the videos go to YouTube later in the evening. All right, looks like we are going to get to start some qualifying now. If you have a favorite driver out there, definitely give them a shout out. Let me know who they are. Obviously, I know Harley Barletta's got his dad in the house. We'll be focusing on him. We'll see if we can catch him. There he is as he goes out to qualify. And definitely take a minute and share the broadcast with all your friends, family, neighbors, complete strangers down the road, and anybody else. All right, there's Harley. He's completed his first lap, currently 5th on the board. Garmin already up at the top. Kellen Mitchner was not the fastest in practice by any stretch, but suddenly up there in the top 3. Now getting bumped down just a little bit as they just watching the qualifying unfold as rather entertaining. Harley Barletta still sitting about 4th right now. There is David Garman currently sitting on the pole. AJ Godsey is currently 3rd on track. Jared Heasley bangs one in at 9th. Kevin Reed back there in 10th at the moment. Scotty Too Hotty Snodgrass drops in back in 13th. Mike Smith in the Boogity Motorsports car in 14th right now. Obviously, a couple of cars still out there turning laps, so we'll see what happens with these guys. But and here comes Hinkle. Thank you, Chase Berry. The broadcaster is your favorite driver. He's also probably the worst, but driver anyway. Looks like Scott Snodgrass is still qualifying, but it looks like just about everybody has completed qualifying. We have just a couple minutes left of qualifying, so we'll see how this whole thing plays out here tonight. Definitely going to be an exciting race. Now, in the truck race last night, we saw a lot of really good racing and surprisingly a very long green flag run. These Cup cars, they've got to do 170 laps here tonight, so we'll have to see if they can keep it green, get some long green flag runs in. There's a couple of guys like Harley Barletta and Jeff Hinkle that a long green flag run will definitely benefit, but David Garman, AJ Godsey, Kyle Holden will definitely benefit on those short runs. Those guys are extremely fast on those short runs. As they finish up qualifying, we'll take a look. As I mentioned, this is race number 10 of the season. There's the current point standings. Got 7 drivers locked into the playoffs coming into race number 10. So we'll have to wait and see what happens out here tonight. This whole thing may change if they only have one fast repair, and while this is a short track and it races a little bit more like a super speedway, as they used to say in the 90s, the short track that races like a speedway, this is still a short track. It is still 3/4 of a mile. They will still be leaning on each other. There will still be a lot of bumping and banging, and I am sure we're going to have some driver interviews throughout the night as we have cautions. Looks like everybody is just about done qualifying. We've got about 30 seconds left as Scotty Too Hotty Snodgrass completes his qualifying run. And as we mentioned in the pre-race, Boogity Motorsports, Mike Smith, huge shout out to him for some recent paint schemes for the Bounty cars for last night and the Bounty Hunter cars. And, you know, just he does a lot of good paint jobs, as does Scott. For a lot of guys in this league, we've got a couple of great painters in the league. So very fortunate to have those guys around. All right, looks like we are going to grid up. And looks like we're going to have David Garman on the front row with Jeff Hinkle, then Kellen Mitchner and AJ Godsey 3rd and 4th. 5th will be Harley Barletta, JJ Parr, Kyle Holden, Richie West, Jared Heasley, Kevin Reed round out the top 10. Then you've got Rick Sargent and Matt Johnston. Then Jason Rome and Steven Gibson, Scott Snodgrass and Zach Henson, Mike Smith and Larry Ashby, teammates in Boogity Motorsports, and then Nicole Creasel and Cheryl Newman round out the field. We'll have to see if those ladies can work their way up to the front and show these guys how it's done. I know those two are definitely a force to be reckoned with on the super speedways. Nicole has had so many second place finishes in BRR in the super speedway races. It's truly a surprise that she hasn't won one yet, but I know her day is coming. love to see her win on another track. And Cheryl Newman's the same way. Those super speedways, she's a dominant driver. We'll have to wait and see if she can get up here to the front. Cheryl's one that never qualifies, but always seems to make her way up through the field. So we'll have to see if she can get all the way to the front as everybody continues to grid here at Richmond. All right, pace car is finally rolling. For 170 laps, the BRR Cup Series race number 10 from Richmond. And remember, 4 tire sets, so once we start getting those long green flag runs, they're going to have to work those tires. If we get a bunch of cautions, it's going to throw a lot of strategy out the window. And while they have 80% fuel load, I don't think fuel will be an issue. Just a sneaky suspicion. Fuel was not an issue for any driver last night in the truck, so. And Jeff Hinkle on the outside of David Garman. All right, lights are out on the pace car one more time around. While you're sitting there, go ahead and share the Twitch and Facebook live broadcasts. Just hit that share button real quick. Share it with your friends and family. And shout out to Topher Baltimore, who could not be here tonight because his wheel died on him. Wish you were out there, buddy, and hope you're back really soon. Snoochie boochies. All right, pace car is about to drop off. David Garman, Jeff Hinkle will lead them down into turn number 1. Waiting, holding back. David Garman gets a good jump on the green flag. And Kellen Mitchner already on the march. As they stack up a little bit, turn 1 and 2, mid-pack, it looks like everybody gets through clean, and we're going to start going single file. And the man on the move already, Harley Barletta. And I know his father, Larry, is watching. There goes your boy. He is charging to the front. Already up to second. Dives underneath Kellen Mitchner and moving up rapidly. Jeff Hinkle had a rough start, and he has lost a couple of positions. He's now back into 4th, but he is settling in as they get single file. He settles in back in 4th as Harley Barletta settles in 2nd. Meanwhile, mid-pack, we've got quite a battle going on back here. Kyle Holden, J.J. Parr, Kevin Reed. Right behind them, we've got a battle between Steven Gibson, Jared Heasley, and Richie West in Richie's new paint scheme here tonight. He is running a Munsters paint scheme. Back up front, we've got a battle going on for 3rd now. Jeff Hinkle starting to come back. He had drifted back on the restart, but now he is looking to the inside of Kellen Mitchner. AJ Godsey still back there, right up in the mix as well. And the 18 of Kyle Holden, one to never count out. Last week's winner, J.J. Parr, in the 15. He is now locked into the playoffs. Kevin Reed in the Finelli Ironworks car. There is Steven Gibson back in 9th, Richie West in 10th, and a couple of cars starting to drift back here. Steven Gibson has picked up 5 spots since the start. Only 5. He's been picking up basically a spot every lap there in the 21 car. He's definitely got something figured out here tonight. He was fast in the trucks last night as well. He is up to 9th, started in 14th. Kyle Holden was started 7th. He's up to 6th. Kevin Reed is up 2 spots from 10th to 8th. Jason Rome in the 81. He is up to 10th now. And as always, a huge shout out to Jason. That graphic that we display with the points, that is all Jason Rome's doing. You can check it out anytime at brrpoints.com. Right behind him, Richie West and Jared Heasley battle for 11th and 12th. Another man on the move, Scotty Too Hottie Snodgrass in the 22 car, now up to 13th. And he's picked up about 3 spots and continues to work his way forward. He is just slowly picking them off one at a time. Bill Percy in the chat cheering him on. First caution of the night. Looks like it's going to be Rick Sargent. Let's see if we can get a... There's Rick in the 20. And it looks like the 24 of Zach Henson got a push off of turn 2. Got into the back of Rick and got him turned around. Looks like minimal damage to the left side of Rick's car. We'll see if he goes into the pits. Zach Henson has gone down pit road. Currently up front, it is David Garman and Harley Barletta who's charged his way up to second. Kellen Mitchner third. Jeff Hinkle back to fourth. AJ Godsey has slipped back to fifth. Then JJ Park, Kyle Holden, Kevin Reed, Jason Rome, Jared Heasley, and round out the top 10. And it looks like Steven Gibson in the 21 has gone to pit road. A bit of a surprise him going to pit road this early. We'll have to find out if he had any damage. I'm looking over notes. I'm not seeing anything on it. All right, the light is still on the pace car. We're going to try and talk to Harley Barletta real quick. Harley, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Misa got you.
Oh, my God. All right. So you had a great start to this race, and you charged your way up to second place. You got anything for the 06 car?
Well, I don't know. It's a little early to tell right now, but I'm keeping with them pretty easy, so we'll see how it goes from here.
Are you saving tires and trying to make sure you got something for later in the run?
Not really right now. Maybe a little later on, but this first run I want to see how much speed I can get out of it, pushing it.
You and Garmin are in the same channel, so are you guys talking about taking it easy on each other, or is it pretty quiet?
Been pretty quiet.
All right, man. Well, best of luck. Your dad's out here cheering you on, bud.
Thanks, Doug. Talk to you later.
See ya. All right, that was Harley Barletta. Started in fifth, up to second already. Jason Rome, another one on the move. Started in 13th. He is now up to 9th in the 81 car. We'll have to talk to him during the next caution. He's just storming to the front. Looks like the lights are still on the pace car. We'll see what happens here. Should be getting the one to go next time by. Currently in the top 12 in points, but not locked into the playoffs yet. Aiden the Kid Trevette, Jeff Hinkle, Steven Gibson, Matt Johnston, and Rick Sargent. Matt Johnston is currently showing a couple of laps down. And we've got several other cars as well that are further back. Rick Sargent in 18th, Steven Gibson in 17th. So rough start for some points contenders. Hopefully they can get back into this battle. As they stack up for the run down the back straightaway, lights are out on the new iRacing sedan pace car. Pace car is in. David Garman will take the green and gets a good jump on the start. It's a really good jump. Kellen Mitchner gets a good jump on the inside as well. Harley Barletta back there in third now. We saw once the tires get heated up, Harley was able to quickly get back by. We'll see if that continues to play out. Meanwhile, the 81 of Jason Rome is now challenging Kevin Reed, trying to pick up another spot. Looks like Jason is going to get it and come right to the back bumper of JJ Parr. There is Jason. He is one that has charged up quite a few spots. He's up 5 spots from where he started, and he's got JJ Parr in his sights right now. And he is right to the back bumper. This is going to be a heck of a battle. These two are both looking to the inside of Hinkle. Can't quite get there. Looks like the 18 is throwing a little bit of block, as is the 15 of JJ Parr. Meanwhile, further back in the pack, we've got several side-by-side battles going on. Got Jared Heasley trying to pick some spots up as Jason Rome suddenly going backwards. Jared Heasley's got Kevin Reed regained a spot. Jared Heasley starting to charge back. Richie West there to the outside as well. He's trying to pick up a couple positions. And Scotty Tuhati Snodgrass, he is trying to pick up positions as well. He's up 3 spots, started in 15th. Gets a little drift up through, gets a little tight going into turn 3. Has to back out to stay out of the side of the 1 car, Richie West. Meanwhile, up front, Harley Barletta is closing down on the 06 of David Garman. Taking a look at some of the lap times these guys are turning, we'll see when the leaders come back up. Garmin is not that much faster, barely a 1/10 of a second faster than Harley Barletta. We heard Harley say he was not saving anything yet. If I had to guess, though, he is saving a little bit. Another car we've seen come through the field so far, Kyle Holden, up 2 spots. Started 7th, he is up to 5th. There is Kevin Reed in the 64. He started in 10th, he is up to 8th. Jared Heasley in 9th. He had slipped back as far as 12th. Starting to come to the front now. And Jason Rome still up 3 positions at this point. So he started in 13th. He is still up in the top 10. JJ Parr obviously has quite a few nicknames. I don't remember what it was last night, but tonight it is Jeff Roto Parsnip. Parsnip. I just got that. Jeff Roto Parsnip. I'm going to have to interview him at some point tonight just to say that that's what his, just to call him by that name. Looking at Scott Snodgrass, we saw him about get into the 1 car of Richie West. He's backed off just a little bit. He's still up 3 spots. He is still running some pretty quick laps. Looks like he might be saving it, or the car might be going away. He's getting a little bit tight there in the middle as Steven Gibson is starting to charge back. He restarted back in 17th. Rick Sargent was back there as well, and these two are starting to, at least Steven Gibson is now starting to come back. Meanwhile, up front, it is still David Garman leading him around. Harley Barletta in 2nd. And it looks like Kellen Mitchner and AJ Godsey are sitting there nose to tail in 3rd and 4th. So we'll have to see when AJ plans to strike. AJ is definitely good on these short tracks. He'll be one to watch tonight. He's got 2 wins this season already, so he's locked into the playoffs. Garman's locked in. Harley is locked in. Kellen is locked in. And I do believe Gibson was the only one to pit on that last caution. Yes, he was. The 21 was the only car pitting on the last caution. We are at lap 29 of 170. They have 4 tire sets. Oh, it looks like Nicole Kriesel might be up in the wall. Looked like she was in the wall in turns 3 and 4. She's staying to the high line, but she's definitely a bit slow coming down the front straightaway. Everybody manages to stay green, but yeah, her right side is pretty banged up right now, as she is going to lose a lap here. Matt Johnston, the only other car, laps down at this point. Back up front, it is still Garmin leading the field, but it looks like AJ Godsey has managed to work his way around Kellen Mitchner, and now he is diving to the inside of the 55 of Harley Barletta. We are having a battle for second place here. Looks like AJ was saving a little bit early on in the run. He might be trying to crank it up. Kellen Mitchner's going to try and follow him through. They're both looking to the inside of Barletta, and Barletta's got a whole freight train of cars right behind him, but he gets a run off of 2. Harley Barletta is definitely making that outside line work and holding the inside line down, forcing these guys to really work to get around him. Side by side for second place right now with a slew of cars behind him. You got Kyle Holden, Kellen Mitchner, and Jeff Hinkle all right behind him. Harley's got to hold on to that outside line as long as he can, not lose too many positions. Looks like the 18 is going to move up, and is he going to try and make it 3 wide coming off of turn 2? No, he thinks better of it. AJ closed the hole there. Harley is going to lose second place, probably third here. Will he be able to get down in front of Kellen? No, but the 15, there's a little bit of a hole behind the 47. He should be able to slide back down. It's going to put him about 5th. I stand corrected. He's going to hold on to 4th place as the 15 and the 47 get together right behind him. And now JJ Parr is starting to charge forward as the 47. Kellen Mitchner drops back. AJ Godsey there in second. He is quite a bit behind David Garman. These battles going on behind him, definitely to the benefit of Garman. He is managing to open up a 1.8 second lead, as you see there. AJ Godsey now in second, but Kyle Holden is coming quickly. He is now up to third. Harley Barletta in 4th, and he's got JJ Parr snip right behind him. Kellen Mitchner diving to the inside of JJ. Can't quite get there yet, coming off 2, but he's definitely got a fast car. And there's one we talked about early in the race that is fast and saves his tires. Starting to come on later in the run, that is Jeff Hinkle. And we will be at lap 40 next time they cross the line, hitting inside the pit window. Some of these guys will try to stretch those tires and their fuel as long as they can. 80% fuel load as Hinkle just about gets to the back bumper, manages to get low. He is going to make the pass here. Coming off turn 2, it is Hinkle now up to about 6th place here. And he is going to try and run down Harley Barletta up in 5th. JJ Parr managed to get past Barletta there. And you see Nicole Kriesel there on the inside. It looks like she is looking to go to pit road now. AJ Godsey, meanwhile, is trying to close that gap up to David Garman, but has nothing for him. David's over 2 seconds ahead now. Kyle Holden, though, he is staying right there with the 5. Or he was. It looks like he is actually losing a little bit of ground to the 5 car now. As they start to spread out, we're going to have a longer green flag run. There is 4th place J.J. Parr, 5th place Harley Barletta, Jeff Hinkle in 6th place charging through the field. Kellen Mitchner and Jared Heasley now up to 8th. Richie West back to 9th. And while we're looking at Heasley, when he comes back around, since he has a couple of cars around him, we'll take a ride in the car with him. Coming out of turn 4, you can see he is getting on the gas, gets a little bit loose behind Mitchner. Dives off into turn 1. You can just barely tell that it's downhill here. And you see they are starting to show signs of wear as Mitchner gets way loose coming off of turn 2, grabs the wall a couple of times. Heasley's got an advantage to the outside. He is going to possibly complete the pass here if he can hold Kellen down. And that's what it's like driving a lap around here. And keep in mind, that was just 22 seconds a lap. Even faster on fresh tires. As their tires are, caution is out. Looks like that is, the problem started with Steven Gibson. Let's see what happened here. Steven is in the top 12 in the points. He was looking for a playoff, and he just got in way too hot, got into the side of the 64, and that brings us under our second caution of the night. And you see Nicole Kriesel just couldn't avoid him. And that should mean all these leaders will be coming to pit road. Just over 40 laps into the race. They are just within their pit window. You saw the effect that cars like the 47 of Kellen Mitchner were struggling getting off the turn. And it looks like the leader is going to go to pit road. There is Mike Smith in the Boogity Motorsports car. He is going to stay out, as is Larry Ashby. Everybody in the top 10 is on pit road. Everybody in the top 12. It looks like everybody on the lead lap. Steven Gibson might be the one lead lap car that stays out. Him and Larry Ashby. Mike Smith got waved around back to... Looks like he got the lucky dog. I am showing Larry and Steven still being on the lead lap, but at the tail end. So they will get waved around the pace car. Kyle Holden is the first off pit road at the moment. And let's see if we can talk to the driver of the 81 car as he comes off pit road. Hey, Jason, this is Doug in the booth. You got me, buddy?
How's it going?
Hey, man. You've had a heck of a run so far here tonight.
Well, I was, and then I don't know what happened. Jared and I got into each other a little bit, and it kind of just set me off. So I dropped back a couple spots, but trying to hang in there.
Hey, you were charging up through the middle. Now you got a fresh set of tires. You think you can get back up there to the front and give AJ and David a run for their money?
If I can get there, I know I can, but it's just a matter of getting there. That's going to be the hard part.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. I'll put you back, and good luck to you, buddy.
Thank you, man.
All right, that was Jason Rome. Driver of the 81 car, currently in 9th place. He's up to, he started in 13th. He is now in 9th, up 4 spots, and we saw him come through the field rather quickly earlier in the race. Lights are still on the pace car. We should be getting 1 to green this time by. And it looks like it's going to be David Garman at the front this time. Yep, David Garman's going to restart first. AJ Gotze second. Harley Barletta third. Jeff Hinkle fourth. JJ Parr fifth. Kellen Mitchner will be sixth. Richie West is seventh. Jared Heasley up to eighth. Jason Rome ninth. And Zach Henson is on the move in the 24 car. He is up to 10th place now. He started in 16th, and right behind him, there's the 22, Scotty Too Hottie Snodgrass. He is up to 11th place after starting in 15th. So he's another one starting to come through the field rather quickly. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. David Garman leads him down again, but he does not get the good jump this time. AJ Gotze was ready for him. Everybody comes off turn 2. So far, so good. And the front 3 cars all settle in single file. Jeff Hinkle now up there. Caution is out again. Let's see. It looks like... Zach Henson, Scott Snodgrass, they just barely tapped there going into 3, but it was enough to send a couple cars around, and you got several cars involved. Look like Kevin Reed, the 24 and the 22, all involved in that incident. And Nicole Creasel managed to avoid it. We saw her just locking the brakes up to not get into that one. Let's see if we can talk to Mr. Parr. Hey JJ, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yes I do. What's up, Doug?
Hey, I'm supposed to call you Parsnip.
Parsnip. Oh, Parsnip.
I'm also supposed to repeat back to you, if you ain't first, you're last. And even if you're still first, you're last. But you're definitely up there challenging for this thing, man.
Yeah, man, it's fun. This is a fun one. We're all having fun. We were all grouped up there for a little bit. That was probably some fun watching there.
Yeah, you guys have been in some really crazy battles out there, and you were definitely coming on late in the run as well. Are you saving tires early, or are you just going for it?
Yeah, actually, I did pretty well at saving tires there. I'm going to try to not get too antsy and, save some tires. I think that's the ticket. Got to have the tires at the end.
That is true, and with limited tire sets, you got to play it a little bit safe.
Yep.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you, and don't forget you're now known as Parsnip.
The man of many names.
All right, best of luck to you, buddy.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, that was JJ Parr. And there you go. You drop a comment in about your favorite driver, we'll try and make something happen. All right, so it is still David Garman up front, AJ Gotze second, Harley Barletta third, Jeff Hinkle fourth, JJ Parsnip fifth, Kellen Mitchner sixth. Then you got Richie West, Jared Heasley, Jason Rome, and Scotty Too Hottie Snodgrass rounding out the top 10. Snodgrass is coming on pretty strong. He started in 15th, now up to 10th. I know he definitely did not want to get into the 24 there. Looks like Zach is now back in about 16th. We'll have to see. I am sure Zach can get back to the front. He did pretty well here in the trucks last night, so I'm sure he learned a thing or two about getting through the traffic here. Cheryl Newman, we have not talked about her tonight. We'll take a closer look. There's Cheryl in the Cornflakes car. She is up. She started in 20th. She is up to 14th. One of the two ladies in the league. Nicole Creasel had a rough start, unable to avoid the first caution, and definitely set her back a bit. But hopefully she'll be able to reclaim her lap. She is the first car. She's shown as the first car one lap down, I believe. So we'll see if she can get back to the lead lap and see if she can teach these guys a little something. Garmin and Godsey on the front row as we come down to green flag. Pace car is in. Garmin will control the restart. And he's gone. He got a great restart there. Caught AJ Godsey napping. That is something you don't see every day, as we're 3 wide mid-pack. They managed to sort it all out, but they were going 3 wide into turn 1. That would not have ended well. Looks like everybody gets through 1 and 2 fairly clean for the moment. Got several two-car battle or side-by-side battles going on right behind them. Kellen Mitchner is trying to reclaim some positions, but here comes Richie West to the inside in the Munsters car. And there is Jason Rome in the 81 and the 18 of Kyle Holden. They're all going to try and hold him up to the outside. Looks like Mitchner is being held up to the outside. We saw Harley Barletta was extremely fast up there earlier, but still could not hold everybody off. And it looks like Mitchner's going to have the same problem. It looks like Holden is having a problem. He got up there, and they just about got together. And Heasley is now coming through the pack. Heasley, one of the bounty drivers for last night. There was a bounty on his head. And Scott locking up the brakes to avoid Heasley. That's going to open the door for Kevin Reed to reclaim a couple spots. He restarted in 12th, trying to find his way up. He's jumping to the inside of Scott right now. It is worth noting that this week they did get the multi-groove, everything fixed, so you can run multiple grooves on every track. And we could see that come into play. A lot of these cars running that higher line earlier on. As the race goes on, if they're running that high line, that'll help work it in the turns. And that outside line that we saw Harley Barletta and Kellen Mitchner running, that can come in and they could actually start making moves. As we've got another caution. Looks like Kevin Reed is involved again. Kevin Reed, that is tough. He gets loose coming off of turn 4. Manages to keep it off the wall. Will everybody stay out of him? No, it looks like Cheryl Newman just got into the side of him. We will see if he can recover from that. He does have one fast repair, but he was caught up in several of those earlier incidents. Not sure if there you can see it, and that is the #1 problem at this track. You get on the gas too hard and you're going around, and there was Cheryl Newman with nowhere to go. You saw Larry Ashby just barely sneak by. Back up front, it is still David Garman, AJ Godsey, Harley Barletta, Jeff Hinkle. And we'll see if we can talk to Mr. Hinkle. Hey, Jeff, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, man. Early in the run, you seem to drop 1 or 2 spots, but late in the run, you seem to make up a lot of that and then some. You got the long run figured out, I take it?
I hope so. We'll see. That's about the only thing I can do. I don't have enough speed for these guys. They're quick. But I can normally save some tires there and do it on the long run.
Well, judging by your lap times, I mean, your fastest lap is just about equal to the leaders and definitely faster than AJ's. So you might have something for him short and long run tonight.
Good deal. Maybe you can interview those guys and let them know so that they can just pull over and let me go. That'd help, Doug. I appreciate it.
I'll be sure to tell them if I talk to them.
All right, thanks.
All right, man. All right, that was Jeff Hinkle, driver of the 23 car. He is one of the playoff drivers. currently 6th in points. He is one of the playoff drivers that does not have a win yet, so he is not locked into the playoffs as yet. All right, and it looks like Bill Percy said Kevin's trying to imitate him. It could be. You got to be very careful getting off the turns here. That is for sure. Looks like Steven Gibson has gone back to pit road. His pit strategy has been a little bit different tonight. Mike Smith is on pit road. Kevin Reed also still on pit road. It looks like he is going to lose a lap or two here. He might have had to be towed. It looked like he was under power briefly, but he's definitely taking a long time on pit road. And for the record, Mr. Percy, I perfected that spinning off turn 4 a long time ago. I just didn't want to show off last night. And as always, it is great to have everybody drop into the chat. And if you're watching, we are live on Twitch, live on Facebook. Share both of them. Share them a lot. Drop a comment and we'll try and get to, if you have a favorite driver, we'll try and talk to them. Tonight, obviously, it's a little bit easier with this short track racing. As they line up, the lights are going out on the pace car. David Garman, AJ Godsey will lead him around again. We'll see if David Garman can catch AJ napping one more time. And we'll have to see what the strategy is for here. How far these guys can stretch it with these cautions since the first pit stop. Green flag is out. Garmin gets a jump, but AJ is right there, and it looks like Harley might have a little something for AJ as we've got one diving to the inside. It looks like Jason Rome in the 81 is on the move. Here comes Jason. He is under JJ at the moment. We'll see if he can clear him coming down the front straightaway. JJ gets one heck of a run off the turn. And it looks like JJ's going to manage to hold on to position. Jason Rome started in 13th and currently running 6th. Nothing to sneeze at. JJ Parr, obviously we just talked to him a few minutes ago. He is on the charge, as is Jeff Hinkle. Looks like Jeff Hinkle has cranked it up just a little bit on this restart. He has got the speed this time around because he is staying right with Harley Barletta. AJ Godsey up in 2nd, and David Garman leading him around, but this time he is not opening up a gap all in the 5 car. AJ is managing to hang with him, at least for the moment. A little further back, let's take a look at some of these guys. It looks like Kevin Reed might be out. He is still showing as being on pit road. Cheryl Newman, Nicole Creasel, and Matt Johnston all showing 1 or more laps down. So 16 cars left on the lead lap as we approach halfway. And it looks like everybody has sorted themselves out single file, at least for the moment. The 24 of Zach Henson, he is now back up to 11th place. After connecting with Scott Snodgrass in 3 and 4 a couple of cautions ago, he has managed to work his way back up. He'll be back in the top 10 before we know it. There is Zach, and it looks like his car is in a little bit banged up on the right front. I don't know that he has gotten repaired, or if he has, he has gotten some more damage. Jared Heasley, he started in 9th, back to 10th, but he does have the prettiest car on the track, so, you know, he's got that going for him. And I am sure before this is all said and done, if his performance is anything like last night, he'll be picking up some more spots. As you see, there is 9th place Kellen Mitchner, 8th place Kyle Holden, and 7th place Jason Rome. Jason Rome is definitely on a mission tonight. That 81 car trying to get up there and get his first win of the season as well. He's had some real close brushes with that first win. We'll see if he can get there. Meanwhile, up at the front, AJ Godsey and David Garman. Garman not able to get away this time, but Godsey right to the back bumper. He has not let him go. They have opened up a bit of a lead over Harley Barletta, almost a second and a half. JJ Parr in 4th, Hinkle in 5th. And I'd imagine that these two will have a heck of a battle before long, as Hinkle definitely the long run expert here. And tomorrow night, you can always tune in for some Outcast Dirt Racing. We'll have the 358 mods at 7:30 Eastern, 305s at 8:45, and then at 10 Eastern, we'll have their Enduro Series. And I can tell you that the 358s and 305s this week are coming from the Bristol Dirt Track. So you definitely want to tune in for that. And don't forget to tune in Tuesday night for the XCal Street Stocks. That will be a heck of a race. Definitely look forward to it. It's one of the more fun races throughout the week. Definitely a little bit of a PG-13 rating, but we've got some great commentary from Higgins, the XCal fan, and all sorts of great stuff for the Tuesday nights. And of course, Wednesday nights we'll have the Outcast SR8s as the Northeast Racers finished their season last week. Richie West there in the number 1, the Munsters car this week. He is now up to 6th place. He started in 8th, and he has been working his way forward. Got sent back a little ways earlier in the race, but now he is working his way through quickly. Up front, it is still Garmin. Mike Smith, currently, we talked to him in the pre-race. He is currently shown in 16th. You heard him say he was just going to hang around the back and hope to survive. He's doing a good job of that so far, and I'd imagine he's going to pick up some spots before this is all said and done. Possibly from his teammate there in the 34. That is Larry Ashby following Steven Gibson in the 21. Scotty Too Hotty Snodgrass in the 22. 93 of Matt Johnston right in front of them is a lap down. Then you got the 24 of Zach Henson. We talked about he was in one of the cautions earlier. He is starting to work his way back to the front. He is currently running in 12th. He had been as high as 10th after that accident. So we'll see if he can come back up towards the top 10 as well. Zach is locked into the playoffs. He is one of the guys that has won a race this season. Rick Sargent, another guy in the top 12 in points, trying to pick up some positions here tonight and try and get enough points to lock himself in. He's currently running 11th. 12th in points. He is 8 points behind Matt Johnston. But with Matt running in 19th position right now, I'd imagine Rick will pick up a spot. Might get him off the bubble there. Jason Rome, we've talked about him. He was charging to the front. It looks like the last few laps he's fallen back just a little bit. He is now back in 10th. Heasley has moved up to 9th as he comes under the lap car of Nicole Kriesel. Kellen Mitchner, he was up front battling for the lead earlier in the race. Now he is back in 8th. We'll see as we're just past halfway. We'll see if he starts to turn the wick up just a little bit. Kyle Holden now in 7th. Richie West 6th. Jeff Hinkle in 5th. Looks like he is playing it fairly safe here for the moment in that 23 car. He is just trying to hold on. We talked about it. He is definitely faster on the long runs, and he's definitely a lot of guys have said it. They said it last night. They said it again tonight. You heard Mike and Jared in the pre-race mention it. He is definitely the king of saving tires and being the fastest when it counts at the end. There is J.J. Parr currently running in 4th. Harley Barletta still hanging on to 3rd. Just about 2 seconds behind the 2 leaders, and that is A.J. Godsey and David Garman, as David Garman goes to lap the number 9 Boogity Motorsports of Mike Smith. And the longer they stay out there on this green flag run, the more cars that are likely to go a lap down. Taking a look at the pit strategy, it looks like so far on this run they've been out there for 44 laps. They've had about 10-12 laps of caution, which will help them save fuel and tires, but we'll have to see if they can, how far they decide to stretch it here. And we're taking a look back at the lap times. Let's try and look at the lap times of A.J. Godsey versus Barletta. And A.J. is just less than 1/10 of a second faster every lap, but enough that he's opened up a gap. But you're starting to see Harley's lap times starting to equal or be faster. So Harley might have saved a little bit. He mentioned when we talked to him he did not save anything early in the first run. But he might have saved a little bit in this run and be trying to make a comeback here. Meanwhile, it is still David Garman leading and trying to lap as many cars as possible. We've now only got 15 cars on the lead lap, and as David Garman goes off into 1 and 2, Larry Ashby is just coming out of 2. There is a whole group of people. They're just a straightaway ahead of the leader right now. So they are definitely in danger of losing a lap if this thing stays green. And now the question becomes, these guys have been out there for almost 50 laps on tires. And yes, we're talking 10 or 15 laps under caution. But how many more laps will some of these guys try and push it? Now, I know in the trucks last night there were a couple guys who talked about they could have split that race in half and done 70 on one set of tires. So I don't think you'll see anybody try and do 100 laps on tires. I believe they would have enough fuel for it, but I don't know if anybody would be able to do that on tires. We saw on that first green flag run about 40 laps in, a couple of guys really struggling, really loose off the turns. As it looks like we're about to have a challenge for third. Here comes J.J. Parr right to the back bumper of Harley Barletta. Harley Barletta still managing. It looks like Harley's ducking low. Is he coming to pit road? No, he is just moving over to let the 15 car by. J.J. Parr coming by, and Harley Barletta will slip back to fourth. J.J. up to third. And looks like Hinkle is starting to turn up the speed just a little bit. Hinkle definitely a bit faster than the cars in front of him. Obviously that 3/10 was while Harley moved over to let the 15 car by, but Hinkle is definitely turning up the wick a little bit here. He's about 1/10 of a second faster a lap. He's got to get there and pass him though. Now the question is, J.J. Parr up to third. Can he catch up to A.J. Godsey and David Garman? As it looks like they have just lapped Cheryl Newman. I believe that put her 2 laps down now. And David Garman now charging around. He is coming up to a bunch of lap traffic. That is the view from inside A.J. Godsey's car as he comes through 1 and 2, and you see those leaders have a lot of cars ahead. None of those people are going to want to lose their laps. And David Garman looking at the back bumper of Matt Johnston. Matt 7 laps down at the moment. He moves up high, lets Garman by, and they've got Nicole Kriesel down to the inside going into turn 1. Everybody gets through there. You can hear Garman having to stay out of the throttle longer than he would prefer. And he is bringing A.J. Godsey with him as they put Matt Johnston another lap down. And now they're chasing down Larry Ashby in the 34 car. But it looks like A.J. is taking a moment. He might go for the move here for the lead. Couldn't quite get there that time, but we'll see. Garman is definitely slower in 3 and 4. A.J. Godsey is substantially faster through 3 and 4, but gets off the turn quicker. The 22 of Scott Snodgrass moves up to the outside wall, lets the leaders by. As Larry Ashby there to the outside of Garman, and AJ is going to get by cleanly as well. And now with those passes, the next car that they will lap will be Stephen Gibson. Stephen is currently in 13th, the last car on the lead lap. And now the question, it really is becoming, how long are these guys going to stay out? Now some of these guys might stay out longer, try and stretch it, hope for a caution, and they might be able to save a tire set just in case something crazy happens at the later stages in the race. But with 60 laps to go, taking a quick look, they've all been out there, so they know from here they can one stop this. They only need one more stop to make it to the end. Checking in on J.J. Parr as he continues to try and run down the leaders. He is having to work his way through all this lap traffic as well. David Garman lapping Stephen Gibson in the 21 car. Stephen just hopping up to the high line, letting the leaders by. Caution is out. And it looks like Scott Snodgrass, it looks like Nicole Kriesel was in the wall, tried to move out of the way, and the 93 and 22 got together, trying to avoid the 6 car that was in the wall. That's going to hurt Scott Snodgrass. We'll see if he has not been heavily damaged tonight. We'll see if he can get to fast repair and get back out there. And Nicole Kriesel's been caught up in a couple of wrecks, dodged a few, and we'll see if she can get back out there and keep going. Meanwhile, all the lead lap cars, 13 cars on the lead lap. It looks like 14. Looks like Larry Ashby will get the wave around. Larry Ashby or Stephen Gibson, we're waiting to confirm which one's going to get waved around. And it looks like Gibson got the lucky dog to get by, and because they are right behind the pace car, it looks like Larry Ashby and Mike Smith will get waved around as well. As they come off pit road, David Garman currently in the lead, AJ Godsey in second. And let's see if we can talk to Mr. Godsey. Hey, AJ, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, man, it looked a couple of times like you could have easily passed Garmin. Are you playing it safe for now?
I wouldn't say I'm faster. We're about the same speed. It's just so hard to make a pass here. So, I mean, we might get a little more aggressive if we get towards the end.
Well, are you saving anything, or are you going full bore from the word go?
Oh, no, I mean, we're driving hard. My arms are already tired.
All right, man. Well, let's see if you can get past that car, and good luck to you, buddy.
All right, thanks, Doug.
And that was AJ Godsey in second place. Kyle Holden has had an up and down night all night long in the 18 car. See if we can find Mr. Holden and talk to him real quick. All right. Kyle, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's going on?
Hey, man, you've had kind of an up and down night, but you're back up there in the top 5.
Yeah, oh man, this has been a crazy night for me. Got locked him up a couple times, made a couple of mistakes, got sent to the rear, but I'm back up in the front now, so hoping we can do something with it. But we don't know. This track's pretty tricky.
It definitely is. Now, are you taking it easy on the tires, or are you going to go full bore on the restart?
We still got 54 laps left to go, so I'm thinking about just taking it easy for right now, see how it plays out, and then push later on, see how it goes. But I'm expecting at least another caution or so to come out.
All right, man. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, that was Kyle Holden. As you heard, he has been up and down all night long, but now back up in the top 5, and the leaders will bring him around. Pace car ducks off. And will David Garman be able to get a... Yep, he gets a decent jump on AJ Godsey. JJ Parr back there as well. And JJ slots into third place as AJ goes charging back to the back bumper. And we've got a battle for third as Harley Barletta running to the outside of JJ Parr. I think Kyle Holden decided not to take it easy there, because now he is diving down to the inside of the 55. And he's going to clear the 55. It looks like Harley Barletta might be caught out on the outside. No, he's going to manage to slide back in, but here comes Holden. Holden to the inside. JJ Parr stuck to the outside. Caution. Looks like Steven Gibson. And he gets a little bit loose. Just caught enough of the apron, but got the... He locked up the brakes, got into the inside wall, but doesn't look like he is too bad. And you heard Kyle Holden say it. He expected 1 or 2 more cautions. Alrighty. Well, I reckon it is time to try and talk to our leader, David Garman. Hey, Dave, this is Doug in the booth. You got me?
What up, Doug?
Hey, man, you've been pretty dominant, and you're getting a little bit sneaky on those restarts. Are you going to be able to hold off the 5?
think I'm starting to run out of some tricks on him. No, AJ's doing a great job. It's been a fun battle between the two of us. It's yeah, and I don't know where this speed is coming from because this is not one of my good tracks, but I'll take for what it is right now and finish up these last, what, 40, 50 laps and see what we can do with it.
Now, I have to ask you, AJ said when we talked to him, he said his arms were getting worn out from this one, from battling you so hard. Are you getting a little tired back there too?
Actually not. Even though we're battling really hard, like I still don't feel like I'm pushing the car as hard as it could be pushed, so I'm pretty sure if it came down to the end and I needed it, I could probably get a little bit more out of it.
That is a scary thought considering how big a lead you've had a couple of times tonight.
Well, like I said, we still got 40, 50 laps. Anything's going to happen, especially if we start catching up to the lap cars again. So we just got to keep our head on our shoulders, keep it pointed straight, and try and win it.
All right, man. Best of luck to you. All right, that was David Garman in the 06 car, currently leading, actually pretty much led the entire race. A couple of cars back there, if they could get to him, might be able to challenge him, but it looks like right now the 5 car of AJ Godsey is the only car quick enough, although we saw Kyle Holden come charging on the restart, so we'll see if he can get back up there. The birds and the USBs. I'll have to have that talk with JJ at some point, I guess. JJ currently sitting in 4th. It looked like he had another rough restart. We heard him say he's struggles a little bit on these restarts, so hopefully he'll be able to get back up there. Kellen Mitchner, he had gone way back earlier in the race in the 47 car. He's now back up to 6th. Hinkle, we saw him earlier in the race up in the top 3. He is now back to 7th. We'll see if he can get up there. He is definitely the expert when it comes to the long runs here. Heasley is 8th, Richie West is 9th, and Jason Rome is currently 10th. Rick Sargent back up into 11th place. He was caught in one of the first cautions and has managed to work his way back up as well. We are back to about 14 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Larry Ashby is the last car on the lead lap. And I do believe the 64 of Kevin Reed is back out on track. Several laps down. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air, and Garmin gets another one on Godsey here. And now it's going to be Kyle Holden. Will he be able to charge past these two quick in this run? We heard him say on that last restart he was going to take it easy, and then he went for it. We'll see if he takes it easy here. Meanwhile, Kellen Mitchner, we've got 3-car battle. Kellen Mitchner, JJ Parr, and Harley Barletta going on right there. Right behind him, Richie West is on the move as well in the 1 car. There's Richie on the outside. He was looking to the outside of Hinkle. Can't quite get there yet. And here comes that 81 of Jason Rome again. Jason gets to the inside, drifts a little high in the middle of the turn. '81 gets right to the back bumper of the 1. And Harley Barletta looking to the inside here as Hinkle's going to the outside. Harley slipped back to about 6. Looks like he is trying to pick some of that back up now. And they might trap Hinkle out there on the outside. That outside line is definitely faster coming off the turn, as Richie West now looking to the inside of the 23. Looks like he is going to pull that pass off easily, and here comes the 81 of Jason Rome with him. As we've got a heck of a battle. Heasley way deep into the corner trying to look like the 81 almost tapped him. And they are side by side down the back straightaway. These two are, and the 81 is sideways getting in there. That's going to give the 32 an advantage. Heasley manages to hold the 81 off, and it looks like Jason is struggling a little bit on this restart. And the 81 just hit the wall. Caution is out. Let's see if we can see what happened. 81 dives off into 1 and 2. We saw him getting loose in 3 and 4. And looks like he was pushing extremely hard and just ended up on the inside wall. He was on the brakes enough. Looks like he's got a little bit of damage to the left front of his car. He's going to go to pit road, but that brings us under caution again. And Garmin still leading. AJ Godsey second. Kyle Holden holding on to third. JJ Parr's got fourth wrapped up. Kellen Mitchner is in fifth. And he's also another one that's had an up and down night in the 47 car. Let's see if we can talk to Kellen. Hey, Kellen, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug.
Hey, you've another one that's had an up and down night, but now you seem to be coming back to the front.
We'll see how this thing turns out. I had a good restart there, but long run, I just can't put it together. So if we stay short run, well, I might be okay, but long run, I'm hurting.
You've got the 50. You got past the 55 of Harley Barletta, and you managed to get it. But you also have another short run car coming, Richie West back there. Is there anybody you're worried about coming up and taking that on a short run?
Yeah, I would say Harley. I mean, I think he'll push here. Richie will be the long run guy, so we'll see if Richie can just stay cool. And if this thing goes green, I think he'll be up here.
All right, man. Well, great night, and you definitely had a great comeback from earlier in the race. So keep up the good work, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, that was Kellen Mitchner in the 47. We saw him outside the top 10 earlier. He drifted back early on the start. He has managed to get it all figured out here, though. And he is coming back to the front. And interestingly, we've had a couple of cars pit on this stop. Looks like Zach Henson, Jared Heasley both pitted. Jason Rome pitted. Jason Rome still on pit road. Let's see. Scott Snodgrass, Rick Sargent, and Larry Ashby. No, excuse me. It looks like it's just going to be Jared Heasley, Jason Rome, Nicole Kriesel, and Zach Henson that went to pit road on this caution. And I'm showing Jason Rome still on pit road after that hard impact. We'll see. Hopefully he can get that car fixed and get back out there. The 81 needs to be checked for the virtual concussion protocols, and yeah, we'll radio down to him and let him know. Good call. All right, lights are out on the pace car. They're going to stack back up. Now, will David Garman be able to catch everybody napping again this time? He snookered him a few times on these restarts. We'll see if he can do it again. Jared Heasley and Rick Sargent both pitted there 12th and 13th, but they are also on fresh tires. Everybody else has been out there a while. We'll take a look at that pit strategy here in a few minutes. Meanwhile, pace car is in. Green flag is in the air, and David Garman gets another good jump on the restart. Kyle Holden looking to the inside of AJ Godsey already. Right to the back bumper of Garman. Here they come off of turn 2. Kyle couldn't quite complete the pass on the 5 car, but those front 2 know he is there now. Meanwhile, right behind him, we've got quite a battle shaping up. Here comes Richie West, and he is going to pass Harley Barletta. I'm going to put Harley back to 7th. Richie is now up to 6th place. And coming on strong in the last part of this one. Just over 30 laps to go. Richie West up to 6th. He started in 8th. And he's been outside the top 10 most of the night. But here he comes coming on strong. It looks like Steven Gibson on those fresh tires is starting to move forward. Rick Sargent starting to move forward in the 20 car. Jared Heasley looking to the outside of both of them. He's on fresh tires as well. .32 manages to get around the 20. Now can he get around the 21? We've got quite a battle going on back here as Jared Heasley and Rick Sargent trying to pick up some positions. Heasley gets it down into 1. Rick starting to look, or Steven's starting to look back to the inside, but those fresh tires definitely showing the way. Here comes Heasley. Next in his line will be Zach Henson, and he is closing that gap very quickly. Looking at Heasley, he is 3 to 4/10 of a second faster than the 24 of Henson on those fresh tires. And we'll see if his strategy plays out the way he wants it to here. He is definitely charging to the front as he comes around. That's going to move Heasley up into 9th now, trying to run down Jeff Hinkle. Rick Sargent, one of the other ones that pitted on that last caution. Jared Heasley now closing up to the back bumper of Jeff Hinkle and Kellen Mitchner. Take a look at some of these lap times as they come through. When it cycles back around, we should be able to see how much faster Heasley is as he closes right back up to the back bumper of the 23 car. If this thing stays green, he might have a... Wow, that was a power move into 1 and 2. Looked like he struggled a little bit, got a little loose. Pushing those fresh tires to their limit. And Heasley is easily 1/10 of a second faster than most of the cars around him. Meanwhile, Garmin and Godsey still leading the field around. 3rd place, Kyle Holden just a little bit behind. JJ Parr hanging on to 4th. Richie West now up to 5th place. After getting around Harley Barletta, sending Harley back to 6th. Jeff Hinkle is in 7th. Jared Heasley now in 8th place, trying to chase down the 23 car. Kellen Mitchner is 9th, and Zach Henson is 10th. And we talked about it earlier, that 23 car, Jeff Hinkle, he is one that is very good on the long runs, on saving some tires. And you can see Jeff's been out there for 34 laps. Heasley's only got 16. Oh, Heasley gets way loose. Pushing it off the front stretch, and caution will come out. After charging through the field and picking up a ton of spots, he just got loose. We saw him struggle with getting loose off turn 2. Can't quite get it done here tonight. We'll see if he can make a comeback, though. Now they're back up front. Will the leaders go to pit road this time? David Garman stays out. AJ Godsey stays out. Some of these guys, no, Garman ducks in at the last minute. Kyle Holden ducks in. AJ Godsey stayed out there by himself. JJ Parr is in. Richie West, Harley Barletta, Jeff Hinkle, Zach Henson staying out. We saw Zach pit on the previous caution. So the 5 and the 24 are the only 2 lead lap cars. Excuse me, Jared Heasley. He is going to stay out as well. This might actually pay off for him. All right, let's see if we can talk to Heasley. Hey, Jared, this is Doug. You got me?
What's up, Doug?
Hey, man, I know that that's not the way you wanted to get to the top 5, but it looks like your tire strategy paid off a little bit.
Nah, we're going to get run over here.
Well, you definitely had a faster car. You've only got about 10 or 15 laps more than everybody else versus what you were up against. So you might still have a chance, and you're now going to restart about 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'm not liking the strategy. I'm really hoping that we wouldn't have a caution, and then I caused my own caution. So kind of shot myself in the foot.
Yeah, you definitely had a fast hot rod, though. You might be able to hold some of these guys off and pull off the top 5 here.
Yep, we'll try.
All right, best of luck, buddy.
Yep.
It is abnormal that we'll talk to a driver that was involved in a caution, but that was just too peculiar of a situation not to acknowledge it. So Heasley had pitted on the last caution, and then we saw him spin on the front straightaway coming off turn 4. Then everybody in front of him went to pit road, so now that's going to put him about 3rd. It looks like on the restart, as some of these cars directly in front of him are 1 or more laps down, and we'll have to fall to the back. As you'll start to see some of these guys peel off to the inside. Jared Heasley will be restarting on the inside in 3rd place, but AJ Godsey and Zach Henson, they have both been out there for quite a while. Longer than anybody else. AJ's been out there for 39 laps. Zach's been out there for 32 laps. Everybody else is going to come out there with just a couple laps on their tires, but we saw Heasley struggle with it. The cold tires, they just don't have all the grip yet. So we'll see. Jared Heasley's tires being warm might pay off, and AJ Godsey's been super fast here tonight. Zach Henson does not have a whole lot of laps on his tires. He's about 10 laps newer than AJ. Definitely several different strategies here. And, of course, David Garman going to be restarting in 4th. So they will restart AJ Godsey first. Second will be Zach Henson. Then Jared Heasley, David Garman. Kyle Holden will be 5th. Stephen Gibson 6th. Good job, Stephen. He picked up 8 spots. JJ Parr 7th, Richie West 8th, Scotty Too Hotty Snodgrass now up in the top 10 in 9th place, and Harley Barletta back to 10th. Although I'd imagine knowing Harley, he's going to come through this field very quickly. Green flag is in the air. AJ Godsey this time catches him snoozing, and it's Garman that's going to have to make a pass, and they are 3 wide into turn 1. Garman to the outside, Zach Henson in the middle. Jared Heasley on the bottom. Heasley manages to hold off Henson. He's going to fall into 3rd place. 4th place is going to come up around him. Kyle Holden in the 18, now about to jump up into 3rd. It is AJ Godsey now in the lead. David Garman 2nd. This might have been the trick that AJ needed to get to the lead. But will Garman's fresh tires overtake him? Because here comes Garman to the outside going through 3 and 4. Can't quite get there yet, but he's looking, wow, power move to the outside. Here comes Kyle Holden to the outside. Garman to 1st, Holden to 2nd. The fresh tires are definitely coming to the front now. JJ Parr coming forward. Richie West making some power moves on the back straightaway. Scott Snodgrass, they're 3 wide into turn 3. Jared Heasley to the outside. Richie and Scott side by side coming down the front straightaway. Richie has the advantage. Both of these cars have fresh tires. Coming off, Scott turns it. Scott loses it coming off. 13 laps to go. Caution is out. Scott Snodgrass trying to hold on to that position. He was pushing for everything that car had and putting on a heck of a show and a heck of a battle. Just got loose. We've seen that countless times here tonight. He did not get on the brakes quick enough and get it woed up. He's going to have some severe damage. The 81 manages to miss him. The 5 and the 64 almost got into him. We'll see if Kevin Reed actually hit anything or not there. It looked very close. Cheryl Newman looked like she managed to just barely avoid that. There's Cheryl Newman. No, Kevin got into the back of Cheryl Newman. That's what sent her around. And what a change we saw here. AJ Gotze now on pit road. AJ Gotze coming down to get 4 fresh tires, 13 laps to go. He realized he was beat there. What a turn of events. So now we've got David Garman, Kyle Holden, JJ Parr, Stephen Gibson, Richie West in the top 5. Let's see if we can talk to Richie. Hey Richie, this is Doug. You got me?
Poor buddy, I got you.
Hey man, you've been coming on every time you get fresh tires. You just come charging towards the front. You gonna have enough here now that you're gonna be restarting in 5th to get up there and give David a run for his money?
I don't know that we have a winning car. I think I definitely have a shot at Steven here because I think he just took right sides last time, and I was eating both him and Zach up off turn 1 on the start. So I think I can at least get him, but I'm not sure about the win.
All right, man. Well, you've definitely put on a heck of a show and come charging forward tonight. Hopefully you pull off that win tonight, buddy.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, that was Richie West, the driver of the number 1. Currently in 5th, and you heard him say he thinks he can get Gibson. We'll see if he can get to Parr and anybody else up there, but every restart he's picked up at least 1 position, sometimes more. He's definitely going to be one to watch, but this battle at the front is about to get crazy. AJ Gotze went into pits. He is now back to 13th. Zach Henson back in 14th. Scott Snodgrass still on pit road. 14 cars on the lead lap. Jeff Hinkle is way back in 10th now. And everybody in the top 10 is on the same tire strategy. Another notable name, Larry Ashby, in the 34 car, just outside the top 10. He's in 11th right now. We saw last week him come to the front towards the end of the race and pulled off a really good run at the Milwaukee Mile. We'll see if he can do that again. He might end up with a few races left here. He might be able to get himself up into points contention to be up in the playoffs. Should be getting 1 to go now. The question is David Garman going to manage to keep Kyle Holden? Is he going to catch Kyle napping this time? He's managed to catch AJ and several others napping. Whoever's been up front, he's caught them. We'll see if Garman can get another good lead, and if that 18 car is anything for him. And, of course, JJ Parr there in the 15. He's right there, and Jared Heasley back there in 6th now. Several different battles going on here. This is about to get interesting. Stephen Gibson started in 14th, currently running in 4th. He has been caught in several incidents tonight and managing to keep going. So good job to Gibson there in the 21. All right, pace car is in. Garman catches him napping. Kyle Holden and JJ Parr dive it off into turn 1, trying to chase him down. It looks like Richie West trying to get up there. He is holding on to 5th. Stephen Gibson holding on to 4th, but it looks like Richie might get him coming out of turn 4. You heard him say he was a lot faster coming out of 4 than Gibson. Thought Gibson might have taken right sides only, but Stephen's holding on to it right now. Side by side while the three front cars are starting to run away. Richie West trying to take fourth place from Stephen Gibson here. Richie dives off into turn 3. Stephen Gibson has the advantage coming off the turn. To be able to carry more momentum, Richie has to pinch it down just a little bit. David Garman, meanwhile, about to have a battle for the lead. Kyle Holden is sticking with him right to the back bumper. 4 laps left to go. You know he's going to send it in there. There goes Holden to the inside for the lead. Kyle managing to hold that bottom line. Looks like he got a little squirrely. Drops back into second. Here comes J.J. Parr. Kyle sending it in there for everything he's got, every corner. J.J. Parr losing a little bit of time back there in third. And it looks like Kyle has lost a little bit of ground. Trying to reclaim some speed. Meanwhile, Harley Barletta has managed to reclaim fourth place. He came through and managed to get around Stephen Gibson and a couple other cars. Kyle or Zach Henson, excuse me, is also moving forward. These front three coming down, they will get the white flag this time. David Garman in the lead. Zach Henson's going to give it everything he's got. J.J. Parr is just hoping one or both of them make a mistake. Final lap. 3-car battle at the front. Kyle really sent it in there. As they go off into turn 3, David Garman still leading. Kyle Holden full send, can't get there. J.J. Parr is going to take second. Kyle Holden loses it on the front stretch. Looks like he might lose a couple more positions. No, he has crossed the start-finish line. He manages to come home third. Harley Barletta comes home fourth. Stephen Gibson comes home in fifth. The man of the hour is that 06 car, David Garman. J.J. Parr comes home second. Kyle Holden third. Harley Barletta fourth. Stephen Gibson is fifth. Rick Sargent, Zach Henson, Jared Heasley, Richie West, and Larry Ashby pulls the top 10 again this week. Larry's starting to come on pretty strong the last few weeks. Let's see if we can talk to our winner while he does donuts. Hey, David, this is Doug. You got me?
What up, Doug?
Hey, man, congratulations. That was a great finish, and you had your hands full the last couple laps.
That was the scariest 2 restarts of my life, especially the last one, or not the last one, but the second to last one where I was in fourth. I went in 3 wide into first and was like, I hope I make it.
Yes, you did go in there 3 wide, but you did not back out. And then that last restart, it looked like Kyle Holden, you caught him napping a little bit, but he came back pretty strong there the last few laps.
Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, he got on my inside at one point, but I pretty much told myself I wasn't going to back down. If I'm going to lose it, it's going to be because I make a mistake, not because I give it up. So, it was a good, clean, fun race by everybody. Man, I'm tired now after we're talking about it. That was a hard-fought 170-something laps.
Well, congratulations, man. You were definitely the car to beat tonight. Go celebrate, buddy. All right, that was winner David Garman. Yeah, let's see if we can talk to JJ real quick. He came in second. Hey, JJ, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, you managed to sneak a second-place finish in there. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that one, yeah, it was, it is an intense race. This is a pretty good one. So this was fun.
Well, yeah, and were you watching Kyle? Was he showing any signs of getting loose in the previous laps before he just lost it off 4?
Not at all. No signs at all. Once I seen it, I knew I had to commit and stay definitely high because, he definitely can save a car. So I don't know if he ended up saving it or what happened, but yeah, I just knew to drive hard.
Well, you definitely pulled it off. You came home second. Kyle takes third place.
That's awesome, man. This is some good racing right there.
All right, man. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, that was second place. And let's see if we can talk to third place Kyle Holden real quick. Hey, Kyle, this is Doug. You got me?
Hey, Doug, what's going on?
Hey, man, you put on a heck of a show there at the end. You almost had Garmin a couple different times, and then a little bit of heartbreak right before the start-finish line.
Yeah, I was pushing her real hard trying to get past them, but I just didn't have anything for him there at the end. It's real hard to pass here, and I just got it real loose coming off of 4 and spun it.
Well, still a third-place finish. You managed to spin it across the start-finish line. A great way to end the race, though.
Thanks, man.
All right, that was third place Kyle Holden. That was your top 3 tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. Definitely tune in tomorrow night for Dirt Bristol as the Outcast boys go racing. And while you're at it, like and share and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. And the 358s Tuesday night, we'll be back with the XCal Street Stocks at 7:30 Eastern. And again, Wednesday night, we'll have the Outcast SR8s at 9 Eastern. And that is definitely a show you do not want to miss. Thank you to everybody who chimed in tonight. Thanks to BRR. Great show here tonight. Great racing from Virginia. And thank y'all for sticking around. Great night of racing. Y'all have a great night.